Now next, we're going to continue our series on long COVID in children and why so many are suffering long-term disability. More than 70,000 young people are affected in this country, and yet so little is known about what causes it and how to treat it.
Well, in our programme last night, we heard from families who feel let down by the NHS and what is available. Tonight, Stacey Poole looks at what's causing the illness and what needs to be done to help those affected.
These are some of the faces of the thousands of children currently affected by long COVID. Children who were once happy and healthy, now living very limited lives.
At the moment, we've got somewhat of an emergency on our hands with the number of people that are affected and effectively disabled with long COVID.
Dr. Tamsin Lewis knows only too well just how debilitating this condition is. She suffered herself for over 2 years, but she's now working to treat others and improve understanding of the illness.
I think there are many different systems involved and processes in the body that have become dysfunctional with long COVID. I think one of them is this allergic reaction, as it were. So the mast cells in the body become superactivated, and that means your immune system is not acting normally. It's overreacting, and that is causing a whole host of problems, including inflammation in the brain, in different organs, in the heart, in the joints. You know, some children can develop arrhythmias, so rhythm problems with the heart. Some people can develop this inflammation, this myocarditis in the heart, or pericarditis. And also related to that is the fatigue. We're not able to generate energy in the way that we used to, and I think that is related to generalized inflammation in the body.
With so many systems in the body affected, it's no wonder children are suffering so much. Jez Medinger has written a book investigating the causes and potential treatments. He was staggered by what he witnessed during his research.
I was absolutely stunned by just how severely some of these children were suffering, and with symptoms that adults don't always suffer from. So extreme mobility issues, the number of children with such severe muscle weakness they can't even stand up, they need walking aids, they need wheelchairs. These are issues that adults do sometimes have in long COVID, but not in the same way that children do.
He's spoken to leading experts from around the world researching treatment options, but at the moment, there's no cure.
It's so distressing. And my heart goes out to the families and to the children who are suffering from this with still, as of yet, no hope that they can go to a doctor anytime soon and get effective treatments. There are a few things that you can take in terms of pills that might help you manage the condition. So, for example, antihistamines, there's some evidence that these help, and anecdotally, they certainly seem to amongst the community. Some people report feeling much better when they take aspirin. And that's to do with the abnormal clotting that might be going on in the blood during long COVID, and aspirin helps mitigate that to some degree. People with acute flares may find that corticosteroids help dampen some of that inflammation. But generally speaking, there aren't really any pills that you can take which will make you better and resolve the condition. The pills that you can take are simply there to help you manage your symptoms rather than actually resolve the core underlying cause of the condition.
The children affected say lack of treatment options and general understanding of the condition makes living with long COVID even harder, leaving them feeling isolated and forgotten.
It really does leave you feeling alone, because what a lot of people with long COVID find when they suffer is that the people around them don't really understand what they're going through. It's an invisible illness with invisible symptoms, and the people around you maybe don't get it.
What children and their families are calling for is more investment and more research.
These children are our future. Why are we not desperately putting whatever we can into helping them by commissioning the research that might help us understand what's causing it and what treatments might actually offer them some relief? And at the moment, it's happening so slowly that these children don't really have much prospect of going to the doctor anytime soon and getting anything from them that's going to help.
We now have a huge amount of people that are affected, and therefore we need to accelerate the rate at which we're able to deliver treatments. There is an urgent need for improved care.
Stacey Poole, ITV News.
And tomorrow, in the last of our series on long COVID in children, Stacey looks at calls for more ventilation in schools to prevent pupils from becoming infected time and again. But with money tight, how will that work? More here. tomorrow.